Hi, everybody. Welcome to Cover the Spread. We got Sean, we got Rod, we got Al. It's Friday, or it's Saturday, March 8th. Man, getting my days mixed up. March 8th, Saturday, loaded college basketball slate. So we're going to get right to it. We'll have three plays for you here, as always. And we'll get right to it. First, we'll say hi to the cappers we got with us today, and then we'll get right to it. How you doing today, Sean?
Pretty good. Listen, we got no complaints here. I'm slowly stepping up. We went from Wagner, small school, to Niagara, a little small school, Boise to a mid major, and then in this game today, I'll be doing St. John's on Marquette. So I guess that's sort of an SEC battle. We're pretty much at the top of the college basketball food chain now for conference wise. I started out with the little guy, and we've moved on to the big guy here on Saturday. Slight progression.
Nothing wrong with that, right? We don't find we're not fussy. We just want to cover the spread here. It's cover the spread, right? So
That's it.
let's get to it. How you doing, Al? How you doing today?
Yeah, well, I was looking at the bigger games earlier. I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I was actually looking at that game that Sean was looking at. Is actually going to give out today, but he beat me to it, and I actually found a play that I liked a lot better. So make sure you stay tuned for that one. Might not be a big school, but it should be a big play.
Definitely, and I think I found a nice winner for everybody as well. So like we always do, let's get right to it. We're gonna look at the first game here. Eastern Washington taking on Northern Arizona here in this one. Looks like Northern Arizona opened three up to 3.5. It's on the move already. So this is Al's game. We're gonna kick it on over to Al, and he'll tell us what he thinks about this game.
Yeah, I was hoping to get it at -3. Unfortunately, as Rod just mentioned, it's already -3.5 and juiced, and I think this line is moving, so I would get on it as soon as possible. But again, I'm not too worried about them covering up to two possessions here. Northern Arizona facing Eastern Washington after winning 82-79 at Idaho State. The Lumberjacks are the better team on both sides of the ball with a big advantage on the glass. They won both regular season meetings against the Eagles, 87-67 at home just a couple weeks ago, and 70-61 at Eastern Washington on January 23rd. So I think they cover this number. It's, as I said, -3.5 now. Could be -4, and I like it up to -6. Honestly, they should win this one by double digits.
Heading on over to Sean. What do you think of this game, Sean?
Yeah, I enjoy that we've gone into the starch madness of the Big Sky. Right? This is in Boise. Starch madness. You gotta love it. I think this is a good spot. And I look at teams, how are they coming into like the tournament? Some guys are fighting for NCAA berths or, maybe even an NIT, they got to get to 18, 19 wins. But then you get a team like the Eagles or Eastern Washington, you've dropped 5 in a row. You didn't cover any of these guys. And again, this is all kind of the better teams that they've lost to. Montana's up in there, 15-3. Idaho State's 4th in conference play. So here comes Northern Arizona. Again, they're a middle of the road kind of bunch here in the conference, but they're putting together the wins. As Al said, they're off a win. They've won their last 2. I don't mind seeing a loss out of 2 out of 3 when it's a top team in your conference. The other teams looks like they've packed it in for the last 6 weeks. I don't want to back that on a short spread. Neutral court or not, I'll ride Al's play here on the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, I think we're going to be in agreement there. You look at this Eastern Washington club, and they haven't been good, especially against the teams with the winning records. They just haven't stepped up. A couple times they've stepped up, 2-13 against that number. But the problem is Eastern Washington defensively has just been awful. You look over the last 5, 53.4% field goal shooting they've been giving up. And then offensively, they just don't have enough to be able to keep up with the Lumberjacks here. You look at the Lumberjacks, almost shooting 50% field goals shooting over their last 5, 49.7 to be exact, and they're outscoring the Eastern Washington team here by at least 10 plus. So yeah, and we're in agreement. Lay with the Lumberjacks in this one. Next game we're heading on over to is closer, a big game here. St. John's taking on Marquette. I believe it's 2. I believe I see this line at 2.5 places. Definitely shop your number. This is Sean's game, so we're going to head it on over to Sean to let us know what he thinks about St. John's Marquette here on Saturday.
So early start, noon tip here for Marquette. What's there to say about St. John's? What a great year for Patino's crew. 26-4, 17-2 in conference, top 10 squad. Now, are they a Final A team? I don't know about that. I worry about the free throw shooting, stuff like that for them. They got a win under the belt. They beat these guys back on February 24th by 6 points. I like Shaka as a coach. I know they're favored here, but let's look at this. This is, again, St. John's 17-2 conference play. Their 2 losses, at Villanova by 2, at Creighton by a point. I'm going to look at it's a 2. I prefer a 1. You want to go 130, 140 on a money line here because we've seen this before. Marquette goes on the road, loses to UConn, Villanova, Creighton, all kind of close games. I've talked about this every video I talk about, teams and conference, no matter what level they are, what conference is. Winning on the road is tough. Short little phase like this, we've seen it play out with Villanova and UConn, St. John's, 1, 2, 2.5 point spreads. It really, if you want the 2 or 2.5 with St. John's, I understand. Marquette for me, I'm going to go money line action here. Let's call it I'm going to go 140. I'll go a little high. It might be a little lower, but just for poops and giggles, I'll give out the little higher number just so the comment section doesn't go, so you can't get that number. Moneyline Marquette here. I don't want to go more than that, though. If it gets up to 3, if it steams up over 2, from 2 to 2.5 to 3, 3.5, I'm not worried about it. Marquette's going to go and win that one going away by 7 or 8 points. I'm not worried about it. But if it's hanging steady in that 2 to 3 range, money line. But again, I will draw the line at 140, even 145. Since it's a video, you people out there, I'm a guy who does not like really laying favorite money lines, but Marquette money line for me here. I draw the line to 140 spot though. Let's go. Actually not covering the spread. We're just winning today for my game. Win.
Just win, baby. Yeah, I'm agree with Sean here. I think Marquette is the better team. They have a better offense.
Win it outright.
Rod is like 5 seconds behind us, I think.
Marquette.
I think Rod's 5 seconds behind. He's out of tape delay.
but we'll head. Anyways, back to Marquette here. As I was saying, better offense. They've been taking much better care of the ball. The one concern with them is the rebounding here in this matchup. So as long as they box out, they should get the job done for us here. As far as the money line goes, if it does get too juicy, or if you don't want to lay that much juice, you can split your bet. You don't have to pick one of the two. You can go both money line and lay the points. So you can get that around minus 117, minus 120, depending on. So depending on when you get this line. But I think it's a great play. They should get the job done here, and whether you go money line or the points, I think you can't go wrong here. And again, it's a play on I'll split my bet on put half my bet on the money line, the other half on the spread.
Take a Rod. We'll count. We'll do a 1.
We'll give him a second here.
3 Mississippi. 4 Mississippi. Oh my God! Now he's on the side view. What is happening here? The show has totally gone off the rails, folks. Here on Cover the Spread, we gotta
keep it on your toes.
He's got a shirt on. Here he's back.
There. Sorry about that. I'm having one of those things. For me, in the St. John's Marquette game, I like the over. I think we see plenty of points from both clubs in this matchup. I know the earlier meeting we seen 134 points in that one, so it was a lower scoring one. But I think in Marquette, I like the over. I think we see more of a higher pace track meet type game, and we get a higher scoring one. I like the over. I believe it's open to 142. It's up to 143 in spots. So give me the over 143 in that matchup. All right, look at the game that I'm looking at. I like. We're going to Utah coming into BYU in a big number, laying 13.5 here at home. But I think BYU's laying that 13.5 at home for a good reason. At home here in this one, they play their better ball. Basket defensively, holding teams to 39.8%, which equates to about 64 points a game defensively. So it's going to be tough for Utah to be keeping up with this BYU team that can definitely shoot lights out from home to 86 points a game. Over the last 5, they've even ramped that up to where they're scoring 88 points a game. Well, Utah, just offensively, they don't have the horses to keep up with BYU here in this one. Utah on the road, 41.7 field goal shooting, which is equating to about 66 points a game. Just not enough. They have gotten a little better over their last 5, scoring about 76 points a game. It's just not enough here. Will not be able to keep up with BYU. Give me BYU lay the 13.5 in this one. Heading on over to Sean. What do you think here in this one, Sean?
Yeah, look, Utah knocked these guys out. 73-72, a little overtime. They won. And again, you go on the road, anything could happen. And that was a pick'em game, believe it or not. This is a rivalry game, folks. Believe it or not, here between Utah and BYU. They call it the Holy War here in football. But this is not Utah football. This is a bad team here. I don't mind laying the big number here because Utah is just listen. They're 1-8 on the road. You had your big win for the year. You're not going to BYU. Will they be pumped up here? Maybe. They'll have some fans in the stands here. But BYU 7 in a row, straight up ATS. Iowa State, Arizona on the road, Kansas State. I mean, you're knocking off guys. You thought maybe you'd have a letdown somewhere in there. I don't know. Is this the letdown? So I'm not looking for a letdown here, especially when you're in a payback kind of mode. I don't see it happening. I'm with you, Rod. Cover the spread. BYU to Cougars. Getting it done on a Saturday. It's a Saturday evening. What do we got? 10 o'clock, late night Saturday. Forget counting sheep. We're counting money,
Saturday,
baby.
BYU. Counting money. What do you think of this one, Al?
Yeah, I'm not usually one to lay big numbers, but hey, I'm not going to step in front of Hot Rod here. So he's been hot. We just saw Hofstra cover that big number in a big way. So as I said, not stepping in front of Rod here. And if anything, I would agree with him, but maybe a stay away from me, but definitely not going the other way.
Definitely. Thanks, everybody. That wraps up for the Saturday action.
And by the way, I'm seeing them at
because we'll.
I'm seeing them -12.5. By the way, so don't be too harsh on yourself. So looks like you could get a better number there.
Come down a little bit. Somebody's coming in on Utah in that one, I guess. That's fine, Bass. We'll get a better number to lay. In that one.
Shop around.
Thanks everybody for tuning. Definitely always shop your number. Get the best of it. But thanks everybody for tuning in here. Have yourself a wonderful Saturday action. We'll catch you guys again tomorrow on Cover the Spread. Thanks everybody.